Monday Night Football, Vikings at Bears. Justin Jefferson's been banged up with a hamstring. He's missed most of camp. Caleb Williams has a new head coach. JJ's got a new quarterback in JJ McCarthy. So it's kind of a debut on both sides of things. You're the Bear here. It's pretty much a pick 'em. Vikings -1.5.
I got to go with my Bears here, dude. This is an opportunity to introduce yourself to the world. You only get one introduction. You only get one first impression. For Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson, this is the thing that they've had their sights set on, a divisional opponent, an opportunity to get after a team who is a very good test defensively. This is a great defense. So if Ben Johnson and this unit can go out there and handle business, I think they're going to be in a really good spot, man. I think they're going to be in a good spot. I got the Bears, obviously.
Just pencil them in for the Bears every week. We don't even have to do that. Just Bears, 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 Bears.
What do you want from me, dude?
I don't know. He was pretty critical at times of the Bears.
They hit it. Okay, they got the number one quarterback. They've got an all-star receiver room. They've got Ben Johnson, who many people told me before he was a Chicago Bear, and I became a fanboy of him, that he was the best in football. You explain to me what's going on.
I'm with you. I'm picking the Bears as well. I don't believe in JJ McCarthy yet, and I had my reservations about him last year when he came into the league, and I haven't seen enough of him. And there's been talk that he's been erratic at times in camp.
He doesn't have his full complement of guys right now either.
No, he doesn't. But they brought Thielen back, which will help him. I think Thielen's a reliable guy for them as well. But I'm just concerned about him as a thrower of the football, and they're going to have to run the ball. I think the Bears Ben Johnson will get the game plan going that against Brian Flores, where I think he hits him for a couple big plays. I like the Bears at home. I think they cover the number and win the game outright.
I do too. This was almost my best bet.
Me too.
But I picked something else.
Me too.
We're going to get the best bets in.
That's cool. I like that.
Just a couple of minutes. Recapping the primetime picks. Cowboys-Eagles on Thursday. Remember that Chiefs-Chargers game? That's a Friday night game in Brazil. Both the guys like the Chiefs -3 against the Chargers and agree on the Bears +1.5 at home against the Vikings. Best bets are coming up. Kyle was 15-7 in his best bets last season.
Woo-wee!
What's he picking in week 1? All right, we promised this is the last time we're going to look back at last season's record, Pete.
Get rid of it.
It's the last time. We just want to remind everyone that Kyle was 15-7 in best bets, because that's what we're getting to right now. Best bets. Kyle, since you were so great last year, what is yours for week 1 in the NFL?
Okay, two teams that I really love their offenses, the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Every time these teams get together, it seems to be pretty loose, Pete. So I'm looking at the over for Atlanta and Tampa Bay, and I've got the Bucs in this one.
Over 47.5, and every Bucs divisional matchup last year went over, including the two matchups against the Falcons. Pete?
I'm going with the Giants. Even though Russell Wilson's their starting quarterback, and I don't think he will be for long, I think their defense keeps them in the game against the Commanders. You're giving me 6.5 in a division game, I'll take the Giants plus the points.
I like the Broncos -7.5 against the Titans. I know both of you guys were on that pick. It seems too easy. It's a rookie quarterback against perhaps the best defense in football on the road.
We're all biting.
I know. But laying those 7.5 with the Broncos. The producers have an interesting pick.
What are those sickos talking about?
Producers have the Cowboys +8.5.
I like it.
In Philly.
I like it.
With a money line sprinkled as well.
That I don't like. I like the 8.5. I don't like the money line sprinkle.
That's the biggest spread of the week.
They've escaped the loony bin in the
producers, by the way, were down dumps like I was last year.
It was a rough start for the producers, but they came back late. And I know that I was like kind of on fire.
You were on fire. You were on fire. You guys are coming back to the reality this year.
I was drafting off of
any strange predictions for this?
Across college, the NFL season kicks off in 5 days with the Cowboys. They haven't made any headlines. Heading to Philly to take on the Super Bowl champs. Dallas will, of course, be without Micah Parsons, traded to Green Bay Thursday. The 4-time Pro Bowler agreeing to a 4-year, $188 million deal with the Pack. 120 of that is guaranteed. Dallas received defensive tackle Kenny Clark, 2 first-round picks as well. Here's Parsons speaking last night after joining the Pack.
No, I didn't have any say. It was just, I would say I'm pretty lucky because I understand the rich history of the Packers and the fact that they had interest in me and understand that they had a pretty tough team already in the NFC, and I was pretty much geared up, ready to play them. looking for revenge, but now I'm on the other side of adding to this rich history and being able to play with these guys and suit up and, play. I'm very excited.
Before you left, did you talk to Jerry, Steven? Did they tell you that you were being traded, or was it all through David?
It was pretty much all through David. You know what I mean?
So Micah Parsons joining one of the best teams across the NFL in one of the best divisions. 3 of the 4 went to the playoffs last season in the NFC North. What's the rest of the league as Jeremy Fowler joins the program this morning? It's the gift that keeps giving for sports viewers. What is the rest of the league saying about this deal going down?
Gee, the reviews are mixed. Now, I will say people around the league are not as down on this trade for Dallas as a lot of the media is that said it was a disaster. They said, if you had to move on from him, getting 2 first-round picks and a good defensive tackle on Kenny Clark is really not that bad. Not great. I talked to a few execs who said, hey, if you would have done it maybe in late March, early April before the draft, you could have got some better draft picks. Green Bay's going to be pretty good this year, so their first-round picks are probably going to be somewhere in the 20s in the first round. So the picks are not as good. The bigger criticism is that the fact they moved on from him at all. Like, you have a Hall of Fame player that you couldn't work it out with. But considering they had to trade him this late before week 1, they actually got a decent return.
4 years of pro, 4 years a Pro Bowler, a 2-time All-Pro, and he's going back to Dallas to hunt Dak Prescott week 4, Sunday Night Football. Right. The script keeps giving to us. Who's paying attention to the deal, the extension that Micah Parsons signed, 4 years, $188 million, because he is the tide that lifts all boats.
Gary, if you are Detroit's Aidan Hutchinson, Thursday was a pretty good day. You saw that deal come down the pipe. I mean, the pass rush money is crazy. It has more than doubled in the last 7 years, so that's good news for Hutchinson, who is going into his 4th year. The Lions have 2 years of contractual control on him, so they don't have to do anything right now, but they have started a dialogue about a potential extension. The little bit of a hiccup here is that leg injury he had last year. The Lions would like to see him get back on the field a little bit, see where he is. That's my sense. However, he's looked so good in the preseason and in practices, they're not all that worried about it. They know he's elite. He showed that last year in the minimal amount of games that he's played. So I expect the Lions to try to lock him up here sooner than later.
Micah Parsons became the highest non-quarterback to ever get paid in the National Football League. Hold that title while you can, because Aidan Hutchinson is probably coming for it sooner rather than later. Jeremy back in a little bit on the program with week 1 injury.
Taylor Swift. What a love story. What an ending. What a move in a week filled with them. That is the biggest move that we've seen this week.
Hey, I tell you what, the rich get richer. Way to go, Trail.
Yeah, talk about swinging for the fences and hitting a home run, man.
Hey, welcome to NFL Live. You already heard my boy Adam Schefter. We have Damian Woody and Dan Orlovsky here with me. I mean, Dan, when you're Travis Kelce and you're going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, you're one of the greatest players to ever play, it's difficult to marry up.
He did. You can't marry down, that's for sure. Listen, all jokes aside, I watched the podcast that was on New Heights with Travis, Jason, and her. I thought she was awesome. I hope they get married. I hope they're married forever. I hope they have a bunch of kids, and have just an awesome life together in that regard. They seem great. So,
to me, listen,
congrats.
I want to see people be happy.
No doubt.
And when you looked at both of them on the New Heights podcast, she was happy. Travis was happy. They're 2 people that love each other. And I'm so glad that all the people that were part of this is a publicity stunt camp.
We're wrong.
Now have egg on their face. But let's get to real football. My hometown team finally named a starting quarterback. Adam, what can you tell us about New Orleans' decision?
RC, Kellen Moore, the Saints head coach, announced this afternoon that the Saints' new starting quarterback will be one Spencer Rattler. He gets the nod over the rookie second-round draft pick Tyler Shuck. They're going to head into the regular season opener with Rattler at the helm. And Rattler played pretty well. It's not like one of these quarterbacks outplayed the other by a drastic amount this summer, but it was enough for Rattler to win the job. And I think when you talk to people around the league, they believe that essentially it'll be easier to go from Rattler to Shuck one day than to start with Shuck, bench him, and go to Rattler.
Yeah, that's the reason why I always felt, or at least as this preseason has gone on, Spencer Rattler would be and should be the starting quarterback. He had some bright moments as well. Shefty's right that neither quarterback stood out in this regard. But week 2 of the preseason, he led an awesome comeback late where he got hot. He's as talented throwing the football as a lot of guys that we know in this league. And now he's got a decent opportunity with an offensive-minded head coach and is still a very young and promising receiver in Chris Olave. I would highly suspect Tyler Shuck plays at some
yeah,
point this
absolutely.
year. But Spencer Rattler's got an opportunity to be the starting quarterback, and now it's up to him to make the most of it.
Yeah, Dan, just to piggyback off that, we know that Spencer Rattler is a very talented guy, but ultimately we know that Tyler Shuck, obviously the draft pick from this year, he's going to see the field at some point. And I think Adam said it perfectly. You rather go from a veteran to the rookie rather than a rookie and bench the rookie and go to the veteran. So at some point this year, Tyler Shuck's going to see the field. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, absolutely. When Tyler Shuck was coming out this year, I mean, Louis Riddick couldn't have been higher on what his potential could be as a starting quarterback in this league. But we forget sometimes who Spencer Rattler was, whether it was at Oklahoma or South Carolina before he was drafted in the 5th round. Incredibly strong arm, incredibly talented. But Tyler Shuck is a guy who I expect to see the field at some point this year, because if you're Kellen Moore, you have to know headed into next year, is your franchise quarterback of the future actually in your building? And if he isn't, you need to move on and figure out who that is.
Totally.
No, that wasn't the only business of today. By 4 p.m. Eastern, they have to be down. Every roster needs to be down to 53. Adam, what notable cuts should we know about?
RC, we saw a slew of notable cuts across the league today. Older players, younger players. Here are some of the big names from today, leading off with the Giants quarterback Tommy Cutlets DeVito. Put on waivers today, essentially in New York. Desmond Ridder let go. Jake Hayner in New Orleans. Deontay Johnson, the former Steelers, Browns wide receiver. Another wide receiver, Malachi Corley. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, New Orleans. McCole Hardman, Jalen Mills, Hunter Renfrow, Robert Woods, KJ Hamler, Carson Steele. Those are some of the names. They're still coming in right now. The Browns released their veteran kicker, Dustin Hopkins. They're going to go with a younger kicker right now. So, again, huge moves. They're still coming in. As for the Cincinnati Bengals.
What's up, Vikings Nation? This is Victor here with Report Vikings, and today we're talking about one of the hottest names on the trade market right now, Jakobi Meyers. The Raiders receiver has officially requested a trade, and guess what? The Minnesota Vikings could be one of the top landing spots for him. Let's break this down. So here's what's going on. According to CBS Sports insider Jonathan Jones, Jakobi Meyers wants out of Las Vegas. He's been trying to get a new contract, but the Raiders front office hasn't gotten anything done. And honestly, I get it. Meyers is underpaid. He's set to make about $10.7 million this season, which is way below what guys of his caliber are pulling in. Last year, Meyers caught 87 passes for 1,027 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's WR2 production in any offense, and he's only 28 years old. You can see why he's frustrated, and you can see why a lot of teams would line up to trade for him. Now let's talk about why the Vikings should be in this conversation. Jordan Addison is suspended for the first 3 games. Justin Jefferson has been dealing with that hamstring and already missed a big chunk of training camp. Rondale Moore out for the season with a knee injury, and Jalen Naylor has been battling his own hand injury. So yeah, we need help at wide receiver. You can't just throw J.J. McCarthy into his rookie season with Jefferson and then a bunch of question marks behind him. Meyers would give us that reliable WR2 or WR3 who can move the chains, run crisp routes, and keep defenses honest. And let's not forget, the Vikings already called the Panthers about Adam Thielen. If Kwesi is out there working the phones, Meyers has to be part of that conversation too. Imagine an offense with Justin Jefferson, Jakobi Meyers, Jordan Addison when he's back, TJ Hawkinson at tight end. That's a nightmare for defenses. Meyers isn't flashy, but he's dependable. He's the kind of guy who gets open on 3rd and 7, who moves the chains, who gives your rookie quarterback a safety net, and with McCarthy under center, that kind of reliability is priceless. Of course, nothing comes easy. The Raiders are saying they have no plans to trade Meyers, but teams say that all the time until the right offer comes along. The challenge for the Vikings is that we don't necessarily have the exact pieces Las Vegas wants. They need O-line help, maybe some secondary help. That could mean Kwesi has to sweeten the deal with draft capital. So the real question becomes, is a 4th round pick enough? Do you give up a 3rd rounder? Personally, I'd go after Meyers. He's not a 1-year rental kind of guy. He's someone you can extend, someone who'd actually fit this offense long term. And if McCarthy is truly the future of this team, we need to surround him with as many reliable weapons as possible, not leave him out there with a thin WR room hoping Jefferson can do it all. So here's my question for you, Vikings fans. Would you trade for Jakobi Meyers right now to solidify this WR room, even if it cost us a mid-round draft pick? Or would you rather roll with Jefferson, Addison, and the young guys and keep that draft capital? Let me know in the comments. Smash that like button if you want to see the Vikings make a move, and don't forget to subscribe to Report Vikings for all the latest rumors and updates. Because if Meyers ends up in purple and gold, this offense could go from pretty good to scary. Skol Vikings!